Hey YouTube world, it's Matt here for Pace Guitar Repair one more time. I want to kind of give you a brief video here. We've got three very different guitars on the desk, and when I mean very different, I don't just mean we've got a Gibson Les Paul and a Fender Stratocaster and an 80 shred machine. I mean, we have three different guitars in terms of a fully floating tremolo, a standard tremolo, and your standard hardtail. I want to go over a little bit of the pricing structure on a basic setup and what that includes. A basic setup for a 6-string acoustic and your standard hardtail and your traditional tremolo like the Strat here would be $40, and basically what that would include is you get, of course they have to adjust the truss rod, the bridge and tailpiece have to be balanced, they have to balance the tremolo, set the action and the intonation. And that's just your basic involvement with your standard setup for your traditional tremolo on the Strat and your hardtail on the Les Paul. Down here on your typical like Floyd Rose style bridge, your basic setup is going to run $50 because there's a lot more work involved as far as keeping that tremolo balanced. So that it stays in tune and can still float to where you can pull sharp as well as go flat. Now let's talk a little bit about your complete setup. Your complete setup involves removing all the strings of the guitar, cleaning and oiling the fretboards, which is something that I recommend that you do every single time you change your strings, polishing your frets, which it just happens. Guitars, as you play them, the frets get dingy, and the neck starts to exhibit oil deposits from your fingers. It's just great to clean that. Cleaning the body, which is also very important. Checking your tuning keys as far as tightness, and tightness not only in the machine head itself but also how well it's secured to the headstock. Making any kind of nut adjustments, bridge adjustments, tailpiece, and electronics. Restringing the guitar, and then of course the same thing with your basic setup, adjusting the truss rod, balancing a tremolo if you have one, setting your action and your intonation, adjusting your pickup heights, and if you have a saddle on an acoustic guitar, we would match the radius for that, and just a lot of similar things in your basic setup, but obviously a lot more. And that would also include your Floyd Rose style. Now for your standard hardtail and your standard tremolo, for a 6-string acoustic and 5-string basses for your complete setup, you're looking at $55. For a 4-string bass, you're looking at $52. And then for your typical style Floyd Rose guitar, you'd be looking at about $60. And like I said, that's just because there is a lot more involved in setting up a floating tremolo. So that kind of gives you an idea. Hopefully this helped.